Hello, today 48 out of 100. Today's probably the earliest I'm ever recording one of these. But I just had. I was at the park just now trying to work, which didn't end up working because the Wi Fi there is not that great, or at least didn't connect well. So I just did some reading. But I was listening. I was peeping in on a conversation that was happening next to me, and there's these two guys talking about how I don't mean I don't I'm not laughing at them, but it was just a humorous conversation for some reason. But they were talking about how when they were in high school, they were just constantly so happy, and one of them was talking about how like he remembers in high school people would always ask him like why he was so happy, and he would always remember just like how he viewed the day, like on the bus ride to school or home, whichever it was. He would see like the sunlight glimmering on the trees, and just like everything just seemed so beautiful, and he was just like one of those guys that you would just constantly see smiling. And his friend was telling him about how his day would always get better because whenever he saw him smiling, like he would just be happy. And they were talking about how happy things were back then, and now that they just have to pretend and just like force smiles and pretend that they're okay. And granted that I mean that's a shame for them, and I wish them the best of luck in the rest of their lives and hope they manage to find that happiness again. But it just made me feel grateful for my life. It just reminded me that, like, damn, it's really a special thing that I feel as happy as I do, as often as I do. And, there's some factors for that, like, outside of myself that have made that much easier to do. Like, just my parents being successful enough where they've made it so that I I don't have to worry about, am I gonna starve tomorrow, or am I gonna have a home tomorrow? And that's a very big thing. It's a very, very big thing. So I don't want to underplay that. And there's also the fact that I just have so many great people in my life that just have helped me make my life better, and have helped me remind me that there's so much to be grateful for, and generally just a lot of very positive, lovely people. And then there's me. Like, it reminded me, like, that hearing that conversation reminded me to just continue to be grateful for me, for taking the steps to be as happy of a person that I am. I wasn't doing the best at that all my life, particularly several weeks or months at a time over the last few years. But lately I've been doing that pretty well. And like that's something that I can definitely give myself credit for, is just showing up for myself and going out of my way to try to improve my life, try to improve the quality of my life. And yeah, that was just a nice reminder for me today. Like I'm still stressed about work, and I still feel lonely at times. But like in the big picture, my life is pretty great. And I'd like to spend more time focusing on that than the stress and some of the loneliness. But when you have work that you have to do, it's like so in your face that it's hard to just put that aside and focus on the good, shit like that. But I can definitely spend more time doing that, just focusing on what's going well in life. Because lately I've definitely just been spending a lot of mental bandwidth on these things that I have to do, and how I'm just stressed about them or worried about them or scared of them. And it's definitely been affecting my mood and limiting my capacity for enjoying my my life. I've been reading The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I was reading it earlier in the park, and I was reading it a few days ago, and it definitely doesn't seem like the kind of book you just read through in a couple days or weeks. It feels like something you take slowly. And something that it touches on very early on in the book is how creativity is about increasing your sensitivity to, this sounds very like fluffy woo woo, but increasing your sensitivity to just the creative energy that flows through the universe. And honestly, I believe that. I can see how that's true. And a topic that he mentions again very early on in the book is something about awareness. And awareness seems to be about just witnessing interesting or beautiful things around you and not trying to label them or not trying to understand them and not studying them, just noticing them. And it talks about how you can't change what you're noticing, Like I can't see a pigeon and just make it something else. But I can change my capacity to notice and how often I notice this pigeon. And well, that's a very like mundane example. Like I could see how that could be applied to just kind of the beauty of life and nature itself. And he talks about trying to like take away the like reducing our filter for how we perceive things, and how as children we barely have those filters and we see a lot of things for what they are in this sense of like pure excitement and wonder. And how as an artist one of your jobs is to be able to return to that childlike wonder. And that's something that I wanted to try to do. Like I became aware of and wanted to try to work on several years ago. But that's something that I've forgotten about over the last few years as well. And I can definitely feel that I've gotten closer to that over the last few years. I've gotten closer to it in other ways, particularly in just tapping into my excitement, because like over throughout my life I I remember when I was a kid and just always being excited about whatever, and always being devastated about whatever, and just having these extreme highs and lows. And I remember moments throughout my life that made me feel unsafe to express excitement. Because I remember times where I'd express excitement and I would get shot down, and someone would be like, "That's stupid. Like, why would you get excited about that? That's such a ridiculous thing to be excited about." Or that's just like just things like that. And over time, with enough instances like that, I found myself in this position where whenever I was experiencing something exciting, or whenever I was enjoying something a lot, I wouldn't ever be able to express that because I'd be afraid that once I said, "Oh, this was amazing. Like this was I'm so excited to do blank." Like someone would come along and be like, "What, you think this is amazing? That's so fucking stupid." or or like, "Why would you get excited about that? That's just like that was an awful movie or something." And once I realized that that I found myself in this place in my life where I just wasn't able to express excitement, I started to try to just be more vulnerable to the idea of having my excitement be shot down. And it happened little bit by little bit, but over time it started to come out more, and I'm way more in tune with my excitement, and I'm way more just expressive about it. And that's made life pretty fun. Just and I've also noticed that that also makes life more fun for the people around me when I show that I'm excited about things. And that's like one of the things that has gotten me closer to this lost sense of like childlike wonder for the world. And while reading this book, The Creative Act, I'm wondering what other things I can do to get closer to that. Because by getting closer to that, apparently, I can become a better artist, which is something that I'm very interested in doing. But also, I feel like it would just be a way for me to enjoy life more. Just like feel more beauty and feel more excitement and joy. And yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I want. Maybe as I read more, he'll go into how I can tap deeper into that, but that's just something that I wanted to remind myself about today, to just focus on a little more as I move forward for the next few days or weeks or months or however long or short I remember to do this. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I am going to do some work. I'm going to try to take care of the most daunting tasks that I've been putting off. And then I'm going to probably cook a meal. And then I'm going to a concert tonight by myself to just try to get out of home, enjoy doing more things. And at the concert tonight, I'm going to try to just be a witness and not feel the need to record or capture the moment or really even like share with anyone. Granted, I'm already sharing this with whoever's watching this technically now. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this mindset will affect the way that I enjoy that experience. So, I mean, maybe I won't feel anything, but I don't know. Like, I'm gonna try. So, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's it. Also, I just wanted to do a little brag. I changed my this isn't as interesting, but I changed my workout routine this week, and I have 2 full leg days, but my leg days are just like 2 or 3 exercises each, but like going really hard on each of those exercises. And god damn, like my legs hurt so much right now in a great way. And while it was hard to stick to that intensity during my workout today, like I want bigger quads and feeling the and a bigger ass. So like feeling the like the soreness in that already just makes me feel excited. So I'm proud of myself for sticking to that exercise today. It was like 12 sets, 12 like working sets, but it took like an hour, a little over an hour. And yeah, I'm excited to do more leg days like that. I think it'll be really nice. So yeah, that's it. that's it for real. So I'll be back again tomorrow for day 49. And yeah, thank you for watching.